Hello everyone and welcome back to the Pixelcast TNT channel. Today well actually not today, we've hit 305. Not 300, but we got past 300. Literally right after I made this video. The 200 sub finale. That's great. Wrong spot. Oh, hang on, give me a second, I don't know where to go. Right, we're back. So I've been challenged by Ultra to well yeah, I'm gonna do that anyway. I'm literally doing that right now. First at 300 you will say thank you to every single sub within a video. Good luck. Right, so we're gonna be doing that. If you have any ideas for any other videos that you want me to make, just put them down in the comments or tweet me. Right, so let's start. I'll just load them all up. And we'll start from the bottom. People have been subscribed for the longest time. Alright, we'll be back soon. Right, let's get started. Thank you, Vanilla Steve. You're my first subscriber. We got Lennon. We got Lennon Smith next. Thank you for subscribing. Got myself. Thank you. Got Michael Comley. Thank you. Got It's Sizzle. Thank you for subscribing. Got Modpack Mining Bros Connor and Modpack Mining Bros Scott. Probably made by me, but thank you anyway. Char, thank you for subscribing. Thomas Elwood, thank you. Liam Casey, thank you. Radioactive Gorillas Games, thank you for subscribing. Joker, thank you. Jacob Elwood, thank you for subscribing, Jacob. YouTube Slime Bros Gaming, thank you for subscribing. Chickens, thank you for subscribing. Thanks Mason Law, thank you Isaac for subscribing. Thank you Luke, Mitchell, Rocks H2O, subscribing. Thank you Carl Torby. Thanks Carl. He was actually my best friend back a while back before he moved to a different country. Thank you Modpack Mining Bros Vegas for subscribing. Thanks Halo WX Gamer for subscribing. Thank you Blake Tibbets for subscribing. Thank you JNU Sick 1987 for subscribing. Thank you Rainbow Sparkler 300 for subscribing. Thank you Fergus Oliver for subscribing. Thank you Dennis Keener for subscribing. Thank you Troy for subscribing. Thank you It's Miss Pikachu for subscribing. Thank you Agent Chuckles for subscribing. Thank you Victoria Lucero for subscribing. Thank you Robin Jones for subscribing. Thank you Vin Farm for subscribing. Thank you Orberitz for subscribing. Thank you Sci-Fi Nerd 10 for subscribing. Thank you It's Docs for subscribing. Thank you HYT is cool for subscribing. Thank you YYG7J for subscribing. Thank you Supper for subscribing. Thank you Skux for subscribing. Thank you X Ownage King 1X for subscribing. Thanks Lachlan Purvis for subscribing. Thanks Halshitan for subscribing. Thank you Mario's Sazu for subscribing. Thank you Justice Marin for subscribing. Thank you T Peters for subscribing. Thank you Abdalu's Epic for subscribing. Thank you Radioactive Sword for subscribing. Thank you Joshi0367 for subscribing. Thank you Hunter Craig for subscribing. Thank you Basic for subscribing. Thank you Charles Samot for subscribing. Thank you Fire Fury 1 for subscribing. Thank you Jacob D for subscribing. Thank you Your Senpai Productions for subscribing. Thank you Lily Jane for subscribing. Thank you Jacob Holmes for subscribing. Thank you Tabrock100 for subscribing. Thank you Zachary Zeller for subscribing. Thank you Liam as Unco for subscribing. Thank you Aaron Getting for subscribing. Thank you Crovera for subscribing. Lisa and Nikita Verea in Holstein. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you JVB50M for subscribing. Thank you Toby Model HD for subscribing. Thank you JH Chappers for subscribing. Thank you Ahmed Hasan Hosey for subscribing. hope I said that right. Thank you Blaze King Gaming for subscribing. Thank you Baddest Lem Keacher for subscribing. Thank you Kevin Sue for subscribing. Thank you Philip Pereira for subscribing. Thank you PC Army for subscribing. Thank you Asterius P for subscribing. Thank you Random Stuff Channel 301 for subscribing. Thank you Explosion_Gamer for subscribing. Thank you It's Brag HD for subscribing. Thank you Minecrafter for subscribing. Thank you eKids for subscribing. Thank you Codbot117 for subscribing. Thank you Assortment Productions for subscribing. Thank you The Alex Returns for subscribing. Thank you Legitimate Gaming for subscribing. Thank you Chilimers for subscribing. Thank you Jackson Strom for subscribing. Thank you Nano Gamer for subscribing. Thank you 60 Mega Mushroom for subscribing. Thank you to Sam and Josh Gaming for subscribing. Thank you Anonymous for subscribing. Thank you Keegan London for subscribing. Thank you Diamond King Big Boss for subscribing. Thank you Vatsana Yog Prisit for subscribing. Thank you Branza for subscribing. Thank you Fake Fox Lover for subscribing. Thank you Bat Llama for subscribing. Thank you Dylan Thomas for subscribing. Thank you Christian Master for subscribing. Thank you Desamaya Plays for subscribing. Thank you Kim Lee D full stop for subscribing. Thank you Rampage Plays for subscribing. Thank you 3 Gamers Q8 for subscribing. Thank you Smart_Hydro for subscribing. Thank you Netherguy95 for subscribing. Thank you Minecraft Wood Series for subscribing. Thank you Windoge8 for subscribing. Thank you Matthew Harper for subscribing. Thank you Popular Gamer Girl for subscribing. Thank you Spirit Realm Productions for subscribing. Thank you FNAF World for subscribing. Thank you Kai's Quest for subscribing. Thank you XCrafterHD for subscribing. Thank you _TAEX_ for subscribing. Thank you Fernando Jose da Silva for subscribing. Thank you Pereira Gamers for subscribing. Thank you YOLO Alex for subscribing. Thank you Generation Magic for subscribing. Thank you Alex the Cat Channel for subscribing. Thank you The Bottle Without a Licks for subscribing. Thank you I Subscribe to All for subscribing. Thank you Brendan Liddington for subscribing. Thank you Sub-Zero the Ice Ninja for subscribing. Thank you Veronico Lamarco for subscribing. Thank you Meowmer04 for subscribing. Thank you LexR15 for subscribing. Thank you DRG Dr. Gameplay for subscribing. Thank you Jaceberg Van Gemeth for subscribing. Thank you Gamer Plus for subscribing. Thank you X Jacob for subscribing. Thank you The Bunny for subscribing. Thank you Bon Leon for subscribing. Thank you Sans the YouTuber Skeleton for subscribing. Thank you Dennis Childs for subscribing. Thank you Dennis Childs for subscribing. Thank you Captain Skipper Peaches for subscribing. Thank you Dank Memes for subscribing. Thank you Panda Games 665 for subscribing. Thank you Xaniers Gaming. Thank you Letter Cape for subscribing. Thank you Cat Players for subscribing. Thank you Red Demon Fox for subscribing. Thank you Amelia Rooney for subscribing. Thank you Smile Dog for subscribing. Thank you It's Beats for subscribing. Thank you to Kenny Davidson for subscribing. Thank you to Lilo Pro 2155 Fletcher for subscribing. Thank you to Raven God Gaming for subscribing. Thank you to Sans Tom for subscribing. Thank you to Simon7022 for subscribing. Thank you to Naja Markov for subscribing. Thank you to Master Gameth123 for subscribing. Thank you to ST2402 for subscribing. Thank you to Baltic Mapper for subscribing. Thank you to Demian CS Slack for subscribing. Thank you for Sensul Monster for subscribing. Thank you to Crocs Main for subscribing. Thank you Valerie O'Coctanovas for subscribing. Thank you Suicide Mouse for subscribing. And finally, our latest subscriber. Thank you the Enderlord 5678 for subscribing. And that concludes the thank you video. Thank you for all 305 people who are publicly shown for subscribing. Anyone who is privately, thank you as well for subscribing. Sorry I couldn't read you out, but you are hidden. Anyway, thanks for subscribing everyone. And yeah, if you do have any ideas for me for any videos I should make as well, just comment down below or tweet me at modpack Henry. Anyway, guys, that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.